Newfoundland's sportsman's culture is rich in history, and the region offers more for anglers and hunters than one can imagine. As far as a bucket list destination goes, no matter what your favorite recreation is, this province needs to be high on that list.
There we go. There we go. Oh, jumping, boy. Jesus. For fly anglers who haven't experienced Atlantic salmon fishing, you've probably dreamed of it. We're on the Gander River in Newfoundland at Bear Cliff Lodge, and we're going to bring you that adventure next on the new Fly Fisher.
Ooh, that's a nice sized fish. What?
Absolutely fantastic.
The new Fly Fisher is supported by Newfoundland and Labrador Outfitters Association, Orvis Fly Fishing, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited, WeatherTech Canada,
After arriving at Bear Cliff Lodge, we got ourselves settled in before heading out to our first beat. There was very little downtime, as the first run was only a 5-minute boat ride away.
The idea is to cover the water, eh, Reg? Just to show your fly to every fish.
Yeah.
One thing I've always said, because I do a lot of steelhead fishing in the Great Lakes, and it's very similar. You don't know when you're fishing migratory fish. You don't know if you're fishing over 6 fish or 60 fish.
That's right.
So you got to make sure that you're showing your fly to every fish in that run.
That's right.
It wasn't long before we had some action.
There's a fish.
Down there. See
Yeah,
that?
saw that.
Boy. Talk about it, eh?
Yep.
Down there.
Atlantic salmon fishing is a game requiring great patience and persistence. It helps, though, and gives you a far greater sense of purpose when you know you're casting to fish.
There's a fish. There's a fish.
Boy. Oh, my. You hooked him too, look.
That was a big fish too.
Yeah. Woo. What a fish. I tell you.
That fish looked to me like it might have gone a little bigger than 10 pounds.
He's a big, he's bigger than 10 pounds.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah, I'd say he was at least a 12-pound fish.
My first sample of the Gander left me wanting more, and after tonight's encounters, I knew sleep was out of the question. The following morning, we started where we had finished the previous evening, but with a different approach. While Atlantic salmon are not feeding during their migratory run, they are notoriously oriented to the surface, and it's safe to say there are few things that we can do in fly fishing cooler than taking an Atlantic salmon on the surface.
It's just about sunup here on the Gander. We decided before the sun hit the pool that we were going to work down through this little run. The guys have told me that early in the morning the fish will come up in here. It looks very, very small, but of course you can see the main stem of the river behind us. But this is kind of a pinch point in the low water, which we have this year. The fish have to come through this pinch point, so it's a natural spot for them to for there to be a concentration of fish. I'm working this bomber, and when you're working a bomber, we're trying to get a dead drift, but it's not nearly as critical in Atlantic salmon fishing to have a perfectly dead drifted fly. They will take it when it speeds up. They will take it when it's waking. So in this case, I'm making a few false casts downstream just to shake the water out of the fly, and then I'm going to put a little reach into my cast to get it to that far side, get the fly line upstream of the bomber, and then I'm just going to lower my rod tip as the fly drifts through the likely looking spots.
We gave the first run its due diligence, and then made a move to the lower pool. To say this run is classic Atlantic salmon water is an understatement. The medium-sized pool emptied into a beautiful tailout and then further drained into a long, uniform glide. Perfect holding water. I had a renewed sense of confidence over this fresh run and had the feeling that there would be a payoff.
See that? See that? Right in the tail.
Go on.
Right in the tail. There we go.
He got look. He never even got down to the fish, the yellow one.
All right.
Ah,
It's not a bad start, Reg.
no, good.
That's not a bad start. That little white wing gold.
Yep.
Oh, nice
Oh.
fish too. That white wing blue charm that
Yep.
you gave me.
Yeah, he worked.
Listen to your guide, folks.
Yeah.
Listen to your guide. We're going to try and keep him up here much as we can because we just saw fish porpoise in the tail out of that pool, and I want to keep him up here so he doesn't go down there and disturb it. As I say that,
That's what I'm saying. You don't, just because.
they don't do what you want them to do.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. At this point, I'm looking at that fly line and making sure I'm not getting it inside the guides. It's a good sized grilse.
Yes, he is.
Remember, folks, these are barbless hooks, and it's more critical than anything that you keep that hook in the mouth. So keep constant pressure on them and keep them off balance. Make slow movements with your rod tip. If he goes one way, you want to try and go the other way. And you can really you can really make them turn and kind of control them. I mean, you're never going to have 100% control, but break their will. Okay, there's a big rock right there,
If
there.
you get he's it up.
I'll bring him right into you,
Yep.
Reg.
Yeah.
I'll bring him right into you. Turn, sweetheart, turn. There we go.
Oh, not,
shoot.
sir. You.
There. Just leave her right in the water. That's it. That's it. Nicely done. Good job.
Yeah.
What a pretty grilse. Look at that. Look at that. Get that fly out of the way. Turn her into the current. She's good.
There she goes.
So we just landed that lovely grilse. Went up, took a little break. We've seen fish showing in this tail out. The fish that we fought didn't go down there, so those fish should be fairly settled. One thing I want to mention though is no matter whether you're fishing Atlantic salmon, steelhead, Pacific salmon, any big game fish, saltwater fish, when you land a fish, especially when you're fishing with reasonably light tippets like we are here on the Gander, take the time to retie, cut it off and retie your knot. That friction, that motion going back and forth can create a weak spot. You don't want to lose the next fish because it might be your last fish of the trip.
After resting the pool and settling down, we started back at the top and began to rework our way down. It wasn't long before the action resumed.
I just had a tap. I just had a tap. He touched the fly, but I didn't prick him.
Despite what has been said, Atlantic salmon fishing is not simply a cast it and leave it alone proposal.
All right, see that way down there?
And after raising or having a fish show interest, there are a couple of things that you can do to up your odds at closing the deal.
We're getting back down into that tail where we've seen a good number of fish porpoising. So I'm going to start getting a little bit more diligent with each cast. I'm going to make sure that I've got good focus on the area behind my fly line. And I'm looking for any kind of disturbance in the water. I think there's a good number of fish in that tail out. And we're just easing down to them. But I'm going to shorten my fly, or shorten my length, I should say. And I do that same thing. Keep it just a foot shorter, same target. Big upstream mend, and shorten it just to keep it out of reach. Keep it at this length. That wasn't perfect, but we'll see what he thinks about it. Yep, I saw that. I saw that. So I just moved another fish. So now I've got 2 fish that I'm fooling around with. That was a different fish. That was a different fish. Unless he moved up and to the left. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to speed the fly up with a big downstream mend and get it coming across them fast. And then I'll change the fly. I just rose 2 different fish. I think they were 2 different fish. One was considerably higher than the first one. And I tried all my little tricks. So now I'm going to change the fly, but it's important when you're doing this to maintain that length of line. What I'm going to do when I change the fly is I'm going to put about 4 feet on my reel, and again, ease it into them. Just work it into them. Don't go right after them. The fly that I'm going to try now is going to be vastly different than the white-winged blue charm that I was just using. These fish have seen that white-winged green or white-winged blue charm for 3 different passes, so I'm going to stick with small low water flies. I put a little bit of flash in this pattern, and as I said, it is vastly different from the blue charm. We'll see what happens. There he is, there he is. I just rose a fish in this tail. He just showed for a second. I'm not gonna move. I'm gonna stay at this position and I'm gonna make a second cast, just like the first one. And see if he comes again. Now, I'm going to shorten my cast by about a foot. This is going to present the fly just ahead of the fish. I haven't added any length. I'm going to shorten the cast by just a foot. The fish hasn't moved again, so now I'm going to lengthen my cast by just a foot. And again, all I'm doing is showing the fly from a different angle or a different aspect than what the fish has seen. There he is.
You got him? Gee.
He ain't hooked well.
Oh, he is. You see that? I can see the way he went across there to see him. Whew. You better believe he's a nice one.
Oh, shoot. That's all right. That's all right. I knew he wasn't hooked well. When they do that head shaking like that, I knew he wasn't hooked well. Sometimes it doesn't work out 100%. I don't mind losing fish, you know, when you're getting good numbers of fish. I don't mind losing the odd fish. That fish I didn't feel was hooked well right from the start, because when you get that vicious head shaking, I'd never liked that. But there's more fish in here. We're gonna keep at it.
We moved to a new pool and changed the fly in hopes that it would change our luck.
I've never had that happen. Whoa! I felt it, and he must have just kept going. Well, son of a sea cook.
The Gander didn't disappoint this day with better than average fun all day long, but long days on the water require rest and recharge. So we headed back to Bear Cliff for the evening. Bear Cliff Lodge is a modern and enormously charming facility, located on one of the Gander's most desirable salmon beats. Owned and operated by Robert and Gloria Coates, the lodge can accommodate 8 guests, but special arrangements can be made for larger groups. It offers a variety of inclusive packages to its guests and has everything required for the experienced or novice fly fisher.
Bear Cliff Lodge is located at Bear Cliff, which is a well-known salmon pool on Gander River, located 25 miles inland from the Atlantic Ocean. There's a number of pools downstream and upstream from the lodge. The river is pretty much untouched. It's 37 miles of river from Glenwood to Gander Bay. Prime time for salmon fishing on the Gander River is July and running into August. But we do have early runs in June and run right up into September and October. Once you experience the Gander River in the traditional Gander River boat, it'll just keep pulling you back here.
We love what we're doing. We love to meet new people. We love to share the experience. You know, you may arrive as a guest, but you're going to leave as a friend.
It's a new morning, and we were back where we had terrific action on the previous day. Conditions are exceptional, and we're giddy as school kids.
If Reggie be with me, who can be against me? Well, she's a large morning, boy. She's a large morning. Kevin and Reg pointed out where the fish generally hold in this run, starting on the far seam where I'm casting to now, but I've gradually worked my way out there. But they also indicated that at this time of the day, they'll also hold next to this large boulder below us. So I'm letting my fly swing right through there because I haven't waded through there yet. Nobody's waded through there yet. And if there's a fish holding in there, before I accidentally displace it, I'm gonna make sure that my fly comes right into this shoulder water below me. So we're getting a lot of coverage, and now that I've reached the far side and have covered the top of that seam, I'm gonna start stepping down. I've only seen one fish move so far, but it's still early. It feels fishy though.
Bob and I had a friendly bet on the first, most, and biggest. So now it was game on.
Baby.
He got one. He got one.
You bugger. That's Bob Coates, the lodge owner. And if he lands this fish, I owe him $1.
You got that reel out with the screen to it, eh?
Yeah, that's the sound of salmon fishing.
Oh, yeah. That it is. He still wants to go, and he's in still water. There you go.
There we go. There we go. Hello. Hello.
I think he might be a big grilse, yeah, or a bigger. He might be a salmon. Oh, he's heading out.
I'm going down.
Back to the bay. No, he's heading out. We gotta chase this one. Oh man, this is a bad spot to land him, eh? Oh,
Jumping,
boy.
Jesus.
He's a jumper. Okay, we'll get him into still water here.
That was a good bit of work. We moved some fish in there, but gave him a little break, had a sandwich. These are one of those fish, folks, that you got very little control of. I couldn't stop that fish if I tried. We went to a size 12 blue charm. As you can see, the wind is blowing like a son of a gun, making it a little difficult to cast. I'm gonna try and get him below this rock, Kev. Moment of truth. I'll try and ease her right into the net.
That's a big grilse, I think.
Come on, sweetie. Oh, goodness.
That is a big grilse.
That is a big grilse. Man, was she hot.
Okay. Where are you, baby?
I got a fairly long leader on, so, oh, come on, sweetheart. I'll get her head up. Oh, I'm gonna turn her. You stay right there. I'll turn her and beauty, beauty. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. That's a big grilse. We worked hard for that one.
Yes, we did.
A lot of casts, dealing with wind,
Yeah.
but you know, it always works out. And we still got time too. We'll go back and get another one.
Oh, God, yes.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate
No
it.
problem.
With the wind picking up considerably, it looked like our day might be cut short, but the rain held off and we decided to stick it out.
I saw that.
It's big.
I saw that.
You see it?
Yeah.
He's still there.
I got to shorten
Son
up.
of a...
Despite our efforts and several more brief encounters, we didn't fight any more fish on this day, but tomorrow was another, and I was more than bound to take a fish on a dry fly. Dry fly fishing for Atlantic salmon is considered one of the pinnacles of success in freshwater fly fishing. And while we had moved several fish with bombers, it hadn't been fast and furious. Today, however, I was committed to putting the time in and to taking a fish on the surface.
Oh, he got him on a dry fly.
It's fish like this that make a trip. And although she came unbuttoned, I like to think that I got the best of her. And that's more than one can ask for. One of the great things about Atlantic salmon fishing is you don't require a lot of gear. This week, we fished mainly 8 weights with floating lines and carried an assortment of leader material from 8 to 12 pound test, an assortment of flies, and we were on the water. Our guides this week, Reg and Kevin Vivian, were exactly what you expect from 80 years combined experience. Patient, enthusiastic, and an intimate knowledge of the river that truly makes all the difference.
Yeah, we work for Bear Cliff Lodge right now. Yeah, the owners are beautiful people, perfect. Couldn't ask for any better.
That's why I guide for him, because he's a really nice guy to get along with. He treats us good, and we got good containers in there, and the food is excellent. The best time is the 10th of July, right through to the last, and anywhere from the 1st August up to the last August. And we also have Oakham Release that comes on the 7th of September to the 7th of October.
There he is.
Got him.
My blue charm. Stay up here, sweetheart. Stay up here. I don't want to chase you. And I lost the fish. Well, as I was saying, I feel like a baseball player in a slump. I need a break. I need to hit one over center field and get out of this over slump. But anyway, it's fishing.
We decided to call it and make our way back to the lodge. Tomorrow would be another day. After a well-needed and good night's rest, we headed back to the river with a renewed confidence.
Got him. We saw that fish in there. That's good fish too. I gotta get down there, guys. I don't know if my fly line's tangled or I've got grass on it, but I got a mess in it. It's grass.
Yeah. That's good.
He's turning up. Ha ha! I just saw a fish jump down in the fast water too.
You got to bring him in up here, I'd say. Or.
So we saw that fish. I think you should come down here.
Yeah? You're gonna bring him in here? We're gonna net him here?
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice fish. There's a grill, but it's a nice fish.
Yeah, it's a big grilse though. Oh. That happens. Fish all day.
Yeah.
To move one fish, you know, good rise, came twice, and we got the best of them though. Hey, you win some, you lose some. Let's go back and get that bigger one we saw.
Every slump has to come to an end, and while it took a few at-bats, I finally got that hit I needed and finished on a high note.
There we go.
You got it, boy.
There we go. I didn't even see it, I just saw the line stop. That might be a good fish.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. So once again,
Oh.
yeah, that's good fish.
Yeah.
Once again, persistence paid off. We work these fish. It's the middle of the day and not when you would expect to hook fish, especially, oh Lord, love a duck. That's a lovely fish. I can't stress enough that the key to Atlantic salmon fishing is covering water, being persistent, and you have to be thinking you're gonna hook a fish on every cast.
Sure.
We're seeing fish all morning, but this is just the second fish that we've moved, and you have to believe that you're gonna hook a fish on every cast. If you lose confidence, you're gonna lose the game.
Boy, that's a nice fish.
That's why we fish Atlantic salmon.
That's right.
Fighting these big fish is a give and take game. When she gives you line, you take it, and when she wants it, she'll take it. Come on, girl. And keep them off balance. When they want to go one way, you go the other. I did something that I don't normally do. I strayed away from the heavy monofilament leaders that I usually use and went to fluorocarbon in this clear, low water. And we've hooked 2 fish since that change. I don't know if it makes that much of a difference, but it makes me feel better. And when I'm more confident, I fish more confidently. She's fighting bigger than she is. Now, as I get the fish close, I have to watch that fly line and make sure that I don't bring it in beyond the fly line and into the leader. Because that connection, there's a couple of knots in it, and you don't want that resistance if the fish takes off again. So at this point, I'll always be watching the tip of my line. Oh, sir, she likes that current, doesn't she? I'm gonna ease her right into this slack water here.
Yeah.
No, sir. They're the hardest fighting fish in fresh water. I'm gonna put you back. I'm gonna put you back.
Keep your rod on the side like that and yeah, come up.
I am not babying this fish, folks. I am not babying this fish.
Nah. You're doing fine. Not your first one you landed, I can tell you now. He's not gonna baby you either.
That's what I call the desperation run. Billy Pate, famous tarpon guide, said, "Your willpower's got to be stronger than theirs."
Yeah.
And he thinks he's going to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's got a big wrist. Barbless hook. Just, it's right in her scissor.
Look.
Oh, that's a big grilse.
Yeah.
That's as big as they get.
Yeah. Look. Yeah.
Woo!
You gotta try again. Welcome.
Thank you. That was, we worked hard this morning, but I'm gonna tell you, that's what Atlantic salmon fishing is like. It's long periods of monotony broken up by brief moments of absolute chaos. Let's go get another one.
Yeah. Try again, yeah.
The Gander River and Bear Cliff Lodge have been nothing short of spectacular. We dealt with some tough low water conditions, but our guides kept us in to fish all week. We need to thank Gloria and Robert Coates for the wonderful accommodations here at Bear Cliff, and of course our guides, Kevin and Reg Vivian, for keeping us into the fish. Until next time, stay safe and we'll see you on the water.
For more information on this episode and to look at other destinations, visit us on YouTube or at thenewflyfisher.com.
The New Fly Fisher is supported by Newfoundland and Labrador Outfitters Association, Orbis Fly Fishing, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited, WeatherTech Canada,